The queen sacrifice that shocked the World Cup. Hey chess fans, welcome back. Today I've got an absolutely stunning tactical blow from the 2025 FIDE World Cup in Goa, India. This is the knockout stage of one of chess's most prestigious tournaments, where only the best of the best compete for glory and a spot in the candidates tournament. In this position, we have German Grandmaster Alexander Donchenko, with the white pieces facing off against Vietnamese Super Grandmaster Quang Liêm. And let me tell you, Quang Liêm is no slouch. He's been a top player for years, known for his incredible tactical vision and fighting spirit. But in this position, it's Donchenko who's about to unleash something truly special. Black has just captured on d5 with the queen, probably thinking he's consolidating his position. But when you look at this board, you can see white has built up an absolutely monstrous attacking position. Let me show you what white has going. There's a knight posted aggressively on h5, and look at this. A pawn has advanced all the way to f6. This pawn is just 2 squares away from promoting to a queen, which would be devastating. Meanwhile, black's king is trapped on h8, huddled in the corner with very limited escape squares. Now here's the critical moment. White needs to find a way to break through before black consolidates. Most players might look at taking the knight or bringing more pieces to the attack, but there's something much more forcing. White plays the queen from e4 all the way across to g4. Now, why is this so powerful? Let me show you the threat. The queen is aiming straight at g7, and if white gets to play queen takes g7, that's checkmate. The king on h8 has nowhere to go. f8 is controlled by the queen, g8 is also controlled by the queen, and h7 is blocked by black's own pawn. The knight on h5 perfectly supports this mating attack. So black is in huge trouble here. What can black do? Black's only real defense is to bring the rook from d8 all the way to g8 to defend that crucial g7 square. This seems to hold everything together, right? The rook guards g7, so the checkmate threat is parried. But here comes the magic. White sacrifices the queen. The queen from g4 goes to g7 with check, offering herself up to be captured. Now this might look absolutely crazy. You're giving up your most powerful piece. But watch what happens. Black has no choice here. When you're in check, you have to deal with the check. And the only way to deal with this check is to capture. The rook takes the queen on g7. So black has won white's queen. Surely white is just losing now. But here's where that advanced pawn becomes the hero of the story. The pawn from f6 captures the rook on g7, and this is check. Look at this. The pawn on g7 is giving check to the king on h8. This is the whole point of the combination. That pawn that was sitting on f6 suddenly becomes a monster, and it's threatening to promote to a queen on the next move. The king on h8 is in check and has to move. Where can it go? It can't go to h7 because there's a pawn there. There's only one legal move. The king has to step forward to g8, and now comes the knockout blow. The knight hops from h5 to f6 with check. This is absolutely beautiful. The king on g8 is in check from the knight on f6, and that pawn on g7 is still there, still threatening to become a queen. What can black do? Well, the king has to deal with the check. The only move is for the king to capture the pawn on g7. And now we see the final point. The knight from f6 captures the queen on d5, and white has won. Let me show you what just happened in terms of material. White sacrificed the queen. That's 9 points of material. But in return, white got black's rook on g7. That's 5 points. And then won black's queen on d5. That's another 9 points. So white gave up 9, but got back 14. That's a profit of 5 points of material, which is equal to a whole rook. So this combination is absolutely forced, and there's no defense. Every single move was either check or capture, giving black no chance to create counterplay. What can we learn? This puzzle teaches us some critical chess concepts that every improving player needs to understand. First, advanced pawns are incredibly dangerous. That pawn on f6 looked innocent, but it became the key piece in the entire combination. When you have a far-advanced passed pawn, especially near the enemy king, always look for forcing tactics. Second, queen sacrifices aren't always crazy. In this position, the queen sacrifice was the only way to win. Sometimes you need to give up material temporarily to achieve a greater goal. The key is calculation. You need to see the entire sequence to the end. Third, every move was forcing. This is crucial for tactics. White played check, black was forced to respond. White played check again, black was forced to respond. When you're calculating combinations, look for moves that give your opponent no choice. Checks, captures, and threats. These are the moves that force your opponent's hand. Fourth, piece coordination wins games. The queen, the knight, and that pawn all worked together perfectly. The knight controlled key squares, the pawn delivered checks and created mating threats, and the queen started the whole sequence. This is what we call harmony in chess. Fifth, calculation is everything. You can't play a queen sacrifice on intuition alone. You need to calculate the entire forcing sequence to the very end. One miscalculation and you've just lost your queen for nothing. But when you calculate correctly, these brilliant sacrifices become possible. This combination happened at the World Cup. The pressure is enormous, the time controls are classical, and both players are world-class grandmasters. To find this combination over the board, with the clock ticking, in a must-win situation? That takes not just calculation ability, but also courage and fighting spirit. Alexander Donchenko showed incredible fighting chess here, and this is the kind of tactical vision that can win games at the highest level. Quang Liêm, despite being an elite player himself, walked right into this devastating blow. That's the beauty and the cruelty of chess. One moment of inattention and even the best players in the world can fall victim to a brilliant combination. If you enjoyed this amazing tactical blow, please hit that like button and subscribe for more chess content. Let me know in the comments, did you spot the queen sacrifice? And what's your favorite chess combination of all time? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep calculating, keep fighting, and remember, sometimes the most beautiful moves in chess require the most courage.